At a couple of points throughout my most recent videos, you were able to see my total playtime for each class, which normally wouldn't be a problem, but there was one discrepancy that raised several questions. If we take a look at my stats screen, I think the point of interest is quite clear. I have 3,000 hours played on Soldier, and you guys were quick to comment on this fact. 3,000 hours of Soldier? No, he isn't a Soldier main. Why do you think that? One user says to an applause of 33 upvotes. Another comment goes, maybe you should distribute some of that Soldier playtime to other classes, just a suggestion. So, why do I have 3,000 hours on Soldier? Some of you might think it's because I have no friends and no social life, but while that statement may be true, it's not the reason I have such a high playtime. No, the correct answer is, it's a glitch. Of course, when I tried to explain this, no one believed me, causing the original commenter to reply, yeah, in a non-believing tone, and some other dude to post a witty comment of, mine is glitched as well. It won't update the time and points for my classes except medic for some reason. As much as this response was humorous, I felt like I needed to explain, so let me present my evidence on why it's unreasonable to think I've played Soldier for so long. First of all, I suck. If I've played Soldier for 3,000 hours, why am I still using 4 rockets to kill a scout that doesn't even know I'm there? Banny has 3,000 hours on Soldier. If I had that many hours on Soldier, why would I be an open player and not some invite level god? No, it's quite plain to see if you watch any of my videos that I'm terrible at this game, so let's move on to point 2. On the 11th of January, my total Soldier playtime was 2,872 hours and 56 minutes. Now, at the time of writing this on the 12th of January, my playtime for Soldier is 3,023 hours and 20 minutes. That means in the space of a day, I'd have to play Team Fortress 2 for 151 hours. That seems like a manageable task, right? Finally, we have the most conclusive piece of evidence, which is, how can I have played Soldier for 3,000 hours when I've only had the game open for just over 2,000? Do you still believe I've put so much time into Soldier? No? Great. Now let's talk about why this happened. Our story begins in Week 3, Season 11 of TF2's Highlander competition. The map was Borneo, and it was looking to be an average game. Now, I don't know if you know the format for TF2 Highlander games. You play 2 matches which both consist of a round on attack and a round on defense, resulting at 4 rounds played in total. In between rounds, the teams are switched, so if your team started on attack, you'd start on defense. Now, I don't have that much experience in competitive Highlander, so I don't know if this is a regular occurrence, but in this game, something happened. After the first match, the game started to lag profusely for all the players on the server. It was so bad, it was pretty much impossible to play. It was, however, fixed pretty quickly by the server owner, and we were soon back in the game. However, we noticed to our surprise and amusement that the playtime for the class we were playing had increased by about 100 hours. I myself went from having 500 hours to 600 hours, which I wasn't too pleased about because now my stats didn't accurately portray my experience. However, I decided not to think too much about the bug. That was until week 7 of the competition, which took place on PL Badwater. The first match went pretty much as you'd expect it, but when the time came to switch teams, the same bug occurred, and we were plunged into an unbearable lag hell. The only difference this time being that the server admin had no idea how to fix it, and so we waited for around 10 minutes while he tried to work out what was going on, and eventually he decided to listen to my team's advice and change the map. Sure enough, this eliminated the lag and the game continued as normal, but I was more concerned about whether this would affect my hours in a similar way to the last time this bug occurred. Sure enough, when I checked my stat screen, 3,000 hours. So that's the story of how I discovered this bug. I know I'm not the first one to discover it, and I'm not claiming I am, but I can't find much documentation on it about why and when it happens, so let's try and recreate it. When attempting to replicate what happened, the only thing I knew about it was that it happened when the team switched after a competitive game. I didn't know the command to switch teams, and I couldn't find it on the TF2 wiki either, so I turned to my good friend Timo the Scientist for help. I explained to him what I was doing, and he had no idea what I was talking about. It looked like I was going to have to work this one out for myself. And so after a while I came across a post on the TF2 website with a list of useful commands. The post itself was largely useless to me, but after looking through the comments, I found the command I was looking for. MP_switch teams. With this newfound knowledge, I instantly booted up TF2 to test the command. I created a server, entered the command, and the game worked perfectly. No lag. Okay, so it looked like I was going to have to do some experimenting. Maybe the server had to have other players. I filled the game with bots and tried again, multiple times, hoping it would work. Nothing. So far, in replicating the conditions of the competitive games, I had switched the teams and filled the server with players. I had only one thing left to do. I had to play out the game. And so I did. And when the scoreboard came up, I entered the command, and lag. The unbearable lag was back, and when I went to check my hours, they had skyrocketed. So let's go through that one more time. Today, I'm going to become an engineer main. First, we play a game in a server we own. Then, when the scoreboard comes up, enter MP switch teams into the server console. If it worked, we'll be in lag hell. Now we just wait. The longer you spend in lag hell, the more playtime you'll get. When you wish to leave, just switch the map with the change level command, and then you can check your stats and bask in the glory of all of those faked hours. I wouldn't normally give steps to replicating bugs, but this shouldn't affect other people's enjoyment of the game, so I don't see any harm in explaining. After all, if you do this, you're just kidding yourself. But hey, now you'll be able to trick competitive teams into thinking you're good. That is, until they trial you. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
This meme will never die because we are in the bin. We are in the bin. We are in the bin.